This next command I want to talk to you about is probably, other than line and erase, probably going to be one of the most used commands that you'll use. And it's called the offset command. The offset command is located right here. I rarely, if ever, pick it from there though. I typically just use the keyboard shortcut, which is O. So I'll type in an O for offset, and I'll hit enter. And it prompts me for an offset distance. We don't get a lot of prompting at the cursor when we're using dynamic input, but if we read down at the command prompt, we've got a couple of other options. We've got a through option, an erase option, and a layer option. We'll come to the layer option quite a bit later, but I want you to understand that 1 is the previously used offset distance, or the default. If I hit enter, it'll use that distance. And now we simply select an object. I'll select this line, and then I have to pick one side or the other to offset that object towards. Notice that it doesn't matter how far away I go because the distance is set already. You're going to end up with a parallel object on one side or the other. And the offset command repeats, keeps going until you hit enter. I'll go ahead and do a couple of other offsets. Let's do an offset of an arc. Go to the inside, go to the outside. It maintains the same center point. Creates a concentric arc. Circle. I can go towards the inside. Not much left, not much room in there. We couldn't do an offset of 1 on that circle because we don't have enough room anymore. Go towards the outside. If we pick a polyline, which I drew with the polyline command, if I go out this way, we end up with that. If I go out this way again, we end up with that. Notice that we end up with no line once we offset that. So these jagged polylines may end up looking a little weird to you. We typically don't do multiple offsets of 1 because we end up losing that extra jag in there. If I do a rectangle, inside or outside, a polygon, inside or outside, you get the idea. I hit enter, and I'm done with that command. Now, if I type in a U to undo, I'm going to undo everything that was done with that execution of the offset command. So I'll type in a U and hit enter, and they're all done. If I type in O and hit enter to get back into offset, let's change the distance this time. Let's set the offset distance to 0.5 and hit enter. If I come out here and I do this one again, and then this one, go towards the inside. Notice that once I've done one, I now, at the command prompt, have an undo option. An undo option to the command is different than an undo command all by itself. Undo option within a command is just going to undo the last step that you did. So I can right-click and pick undo from the shortcut menu, or I can type in a U, or I can pick it from the command prompt, or I can hit the down arrow key and pick it from that shortcut menu. There's always way too many things to do everything in AutoCAD. Whatever is comfortable for you. I'll pick undo, and it undid that last offset. I'll just hit enter to end the offset command. A little known method, or not necessarily little known, but a little used method of offsetting. Let's say I wanted to offset this circle so that it comes into contact with this endpoint. I don't know what that distance is. That's where we use the through method of offsetting. So I'll type in an O and hit enter. And instead of hitting enter to accept that default distance, I can type in a T or pick through right from the command prompt. I'll do that. And now there's no need to set a distance. I have to go ahead and pick an object and then pick the object pick the point that I want to offset it through. Offset it through that endpoint, and now that meets that. Sometimes we have to do some geometric constructions that way. If I wanted to offset this line so that it went through the corner of that rectangle, I can pick that line and offset it through that corner. So that is your offset command.